Pong, 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 pong. Oh, hi there. I was just trying to recreate the video game back from the 70s, Pong. I remember playing that with that, and we thought it was just the way coolest thing back there in the day. But of course now, any self-respecting video game would laugh at Pong. Well, what we're really doing is we are going to work with some algebra tiles, which are a great way to show math from concrete to the representational to the abstract. First thing, warning, it's going to take multiple exposures for you to really feel comfortable using algebra tiles. So if after today's session you're feeling, oh, I don't know about these, don't worry. It does take multiple exposures to really get these down. Also, if you are used to teaching math in an abstract way, this might hurt your head for a while. So it's really hard. The more abstract you're used to teaching, the harder it's going to be to do this. So basically, be patient with yourself. Give yourself a chance. Well, let's work with some algebra tiles here. And first, we want to get to know our players. I'm going to start out with our smallest and work up to our biggest. So I'm going to start over here. What we have here, these little guys, these little squares, represent our whole numbers. So my yellow tile here is going to represent a positive 1. I'm just going to write that above here. Going to represent a positive 1, and our red guy is going to represent a negative 1. And most of the time when you see tutorials on algebra tiles, you'll see red represented as negative. So all three of the tiles we're going to look at, the other colors positive and red's negative. Students are used to that, bank accounts being in the red, etc. The only time I've ever seen red not used as negative was when a guy who was a big NC State fan was doing it, and so he had red as positive, but that's a story for another day. So anyway, that's our whole number. Let's look at what x is. And we don't really know what the value of x is, so this is going to be somewhat of a mystery here. But this large rectangle represents x. And a good set of algebra tile, you can't match up an even number of your whole numbers to the x piece because we have no idea what the value of x is. So our green rectangle is going to represent positive x, or I'm just going to write x. And our red rectangle is going to represent negative x. So whole numbers, we've got our x value here. We've got one other player to meet, and that's these big guys over here, and that is x squared. And we can see a little bit more if we're trying to think about x squared. What is x squared? X squared really represents x times x. It's really an area model of this. X times x is x squared, so that can help students see that a little bit more visually as well. So our big guys, our big cubic looking things are, this is going to be positive x squared, the blue side, and our red guy is going to be negative x squared. So again, red values represent negative numbers. Our other colors are going to represent positive numbers. So those are the players in today's game.